Welcome to Cut Up No Hesi. Make sure you have Assetto Corsa and all the DLC through Steam. There are no exceptions to this. Right click on Assetto Corsa and we're going to browse local files. Right now what we're doing is we're creating a shortcut on our desktop. You can actually put this shortcut wherever you want. I'm just choosing to put it on the desktop because we're going to be using this folder a lot. To avoid corrupted files, make sure to download and use 7-zip. Now let's go to acstuff.ru and we're going to download Content Manager. You can see there's 3 ways to do it here. I'm choosing to download directly. Navigate to your downloads, right click on the file you just downloaded, and using 7-zip, extract the files. Here I'm creating another folder on my desktop. I'm just going to title it Assetto CM for Content Manager. That's just how I'm going to keep things organized for this video. Let's open that folder that I extracted the files to, and we're going to launch Content Manager. From here, make sure your Steam ID is the same one that you put into our Discord, and in the What's Your Name box, put your Discord username. The 7-zip plugin is critical to install. Optionally, you can install the rest of the ones that I'm choosing here. Click OK, and Content Manager is set up. Now let's look at Custom Shaders Patch. Click Settings, and then Custom Shaders Patch, and click Install. You now have the latest version of Custom Shaders Patch. Make sure to change Update Automatically to Do Not Auto Update. Start by going to racedepartment.com and register for a free account. You're going to scroll all the way to the bottom and get that basic account. Search for Soul and then click Download. Navigate to your downloads, right click, and using 7-zip, extract the files. I'm going to go ahead and put them into that folder I created earlier on the desktop, the Assetto CM. Let's open the folder we just extracted to, Soul, Mods, Soul again, and we'll move this folder over to the side. Open that Assetto Corsa shortcut we made at the beginning of this video. And right into that, we're going to copy these 4 folders and drag them into Assetto Corsa. In Content Manager, Settings, Custom Shaders Patch, Weather Effects, make sure these are as shown. Let's navigate to Assetto Corsa in Settings. Go to Apps and make sure that all the apps shown here are checked. I've got a few extras. If you don't have them, don't worry about it. Let's click on Content Manager, go down to Drive, and scroll all the way to the bottom, and we're going to disable all these extended weather options. They're no longer needed. And even if you're not using VR, make sure that Override Default PP Filter in VR is checked. Scroll up, and you're going to see Game Starter. And I'm going to switch to Steam Starter. This isn't necessary, but for me, it fixed a lot of the problems I was having with the servers. In Settings, Assetto Corsa Video, change your rendering frequency to 1 face per frame. Settings, Custom Shaders Patch, Graphic Adjustments, change your far plane to 200,000 and 30,000. Settings, Custom Shaders Patch, Tracks Config. Make sure they're set to install automatically. Do the same for Tracks VAO. Now check your car's configs. Finally, check car's textures. Now we're going to go over downloading maps from Discord. Navigate to the Downloads section and then SRP. I'd strongly recommend that you download the map through the SRP Discord. For this map demonstration, we're going to use the FDR map. You'll get the map and you'll drag and drop it into Content Manager. Now, as long as you did that 7-zip plugin that we discussed at the beginning of this video, the file should be fine and not corrupted. If for some reason you did have problems, well, you can do it this way too. Just like before, we're unzipping it with 7-zip. And for this example, I'm going to extract it to that Assetto CM folder I created earlier. Let's open the Assetto CM folder and the Assetto Corsa shortcut folder. I'm going to double click on FDR map, then the fix, and I'm going to drag those two folders into Assetto Corsa. Now let's go over downloading cars from our Discord. Download the car packs that correspond with the server you want to run on. So let's use this top one, US East 1, as an example. I'm going to navigate now to Downloads, SRP, and I'm going to download this top car pack, the public server car pack. Once that download's complete, head to Traffic Pack and download that. At the time of this recording, this is a universal traffic pack for all of our servers. Now let's say that I want to drive on FDR. I'm going to go to the FDR server and I'm looking at the public US East servers. I'll go to Downloads FDR and then click the link here. Go ahead and ignore all the ads and click Download. A pop-up will come up. Just go ahead and close that, ignore it. And now take the downloaded file and drag and drop into Content Manager. Once again, if you use that 7-zip plugin, all the files should be fine. Just click Install and you're good. If for some reason that didn't work for you, maybe you had some corrupted files, you can do it this way too. Once again, using 7-zip, we're extracting it to our Assetto CM folder, and we're going to go from there. Let's go ahead and close our download window, open up Assetto CM, and the FDR update, which is our cars, and we can see them here. Let's open up the Assetto Corsa shortcut folder, and we'll scroll down and find content. And now cars. And we're gonna go ahead and select all these and drag and drop into Assetto Corsa. With the amount of traffic in these servers, it's absolutely necessary for you to optimize your settings. So in our Discord, under the info tab, we have a settings channel as seen here. We have high, medium, and low settings that you can click and download right into Content Manager. I'd recommend you download all three of these, all three AC presets, all three CSP presets. This is a little tedious and it does take some time to click all these and download all of them this way. But at least then you'll have a foundation to work off of. Once you have the high settings, if you find you can run higher, then you can just modify from there. Add some extra post-processing if you want. And if your computer's really low end, if you try these low end settings, it'll just give you the bare minimum, and then you can adjust your post-processing from there, maybe your resolution, frame rate. It's just a good place to start. Now that we've got all our presets, let's go ahead and do an initial test run in single player mode. I'm gonna choose my low end settings, undo the limit frame rate. I'm not running G-Sync right now, and I'm on a 4K screen, so I'm gonna do 4K at 60 Hertz. Now in Custom Shaders Patch, I'm gonna change my preset to my low end settings. And now Drive, I'm in single player, and I'm doing Shitoka Revival Project, Tatsumi Parking Area. Click OK, and then go. This loading screen can take well over a minute to load everything, so be patient. Okay, time for a test drive here in Alex Choi's Lamborghini. And I'm gonna turn on the lights with letter L on my keyboard. I'm actually using controller for this demo, so it'll be a little choppy. But you can see here, even on the low end settings, I'm still getting a good amount of detail. It's not that fantastic, however. The flames don't look that great, but for the sake of frames per second, sometimes this is what it takes to be able to play on a really dense server. I am using Riva Tuner with Scanline Sync enabled. I'd recommend using this if you do not have G-Sync or FreeSync. Do not use V-Sync. There's a lot of crap out there about that, but it introduces a lot of input lag into Assetto Corsa when it's used on its own. Okay, now let's try crisp settings, which are for high-end PCs. Let's just get a look at what it looks like. Once again, I'm gonna change the resolution to my current screen, which is 4K, and head back into Drive and go. As this is loading, I just wanna take this opportunity to say, please spend some time playing single player, especially with getting familiar with the maps. And in choosing a car, find one from our packs that you really like and spend a few days getting to know that car. Find out how it handles at top speed, how it handles at low speed, understeer, oversteer characteristics, how it behaves under acceleration and braking. Really get familiar with the ins and outs of it and use the whole track. I know a lot of us, we spend a lot of time on the Wangan, which is fine. I mean, that's where most of the traffic action is, and that's why we're here. But really build your skills as a driver, and you'll enjoy it even more. Speaking of enjoying things more, I'm definitely enjoying these graphics more, especially the reflections. They look really good. These flames look amazing. I always love how they show up in the virtual mirror. It's ridiculous, but it's cool. And now that you've seen both ends of the spectrum of low and high settings, let's go ahead and switch back to low settings, and we'll see about joining an actual server. I'm in the SRP server tab, and I'm gonna click this first link. I'm gonna go ahead and open Content Manager. And before we actually get started here, the first thing I'll do is I'm gonna favorite this so that it's easy to find, and I don't have to always go back to these server links in Discord to get to the server. I'm just gonna use that car that's selected and join. And it's gonna take a bit to load. I'm actually gonna let this screen just load here, just so you can see how long it does take, because there are a lot of cars. You'll see any of the ones that are white are available, and any of the grayed out ones are unavailable, or they're traffic cars that you just can't drive at any point. Keep in mind that this is a public server, so at certain times of the day, it can get pretty crowded, and it can be tricky to get the car you actually want to drive. If at this time I could actually kind of pitch to you the benefits of joining the Patreon, you will get access to more maps, and you'll have a smaller group of people to deal with in terms of car availability. So it's worth looking at. There are even a few options in the Patreon where you can have a say in what cars go into rotation, and you'll be getting access to cars that are exclusive to this server, and that's pretty cool. All right, perfect timing. And we're in. We're here at Iwajima, PA. Before we get started, let's move our mouse over to the right, and we're gonna make sure chat is open, which it is. Make sure it's not Python chat, just chat. I'm gonna click on it just so you can see up here near the middle of the screen. It's showing up there. And I'm gonna roll my mouse over it and click on that light bulb icon, then down to teleport to, and I'm gonna go straight to Tatsumi because that's right into 3-lane traffic. If I were to start from where I was just now at Iwajima, well, it goes into 2-lane for quite a while before we get to 3-lane. I'm on my lowest settings here. You can see it doesn't look that bad. I mean, granted, I'm on a 4K screen right now, but yeah, low settings, not too bad. Turned on my lights with the L button on my keyboard. You can see I'm using controller because of how choppy it is. I haven't configured my gamepad controller for this, so it's not that great. Let me just say now, I would definitely, in settings on our Discord, download TrueDAT's controller settings. They're way better. I have tried them. They're not enabled right now, but they are way better than what you're seeing right now. It actually makes the cars drivable, which is absolutely necessary. Okay, let's go ahead and head back to Content Manager, and we're gonna look at a couple more things. Back in Content Manager, and now you can see I'm in Drive, Online, and Favorites. And there's the one that I favorited. I was just driving on that, this public one. So what I recommend is in that Discord, if you're playing on the public servers, go ahead and load all those servers into Content Manager, favorite them, and then you can quickly look through each one and see which one has the car available that you want to drive. Okay, now let's take a look at our VIP and white line servers. First, open up Steam, navigate to Account Details, and copy your Steam ID. We're gonna paste this into our Steam ID channel, which is in our Discord. Make sure you do this as soon as possible so we can get you running quickly. We're back in the Discord, and under the Servers tab, I'm gonna choose White Line, and we're gonna join this FDR server. So I'm copying the password, clicking that link. I'm gonna go and open Content Manager, and where it says favorite, I'm gonna click that first so that it's easy to find this server again. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put in the password and choose an available car. In this case, the RS4 by TGN. Shout out to those guys over there, Nell and the team, making some awesome cars. And here we are. Now I've got my chat window open. You can see here, it's right next to my virtual mirror. I'm gonna click that light bulb and then teleport to, drop down to position 1. And we are in position 1 on FDR. Now I'm gonna change the camera view. Let's go inside here. And you can see we actually have a full entertainment system. I'm just gonna type in lo-fi because I'm being basic right now. And it's safe. So here we go. We've got some lo-fi tunes, some chill vibes going for this initial drive. Notice how I didn't look to my left in order to merge on the highway. Somebody honked at me, but that's okay because I'm a menace to society. It's just what I do. Anyway, you can see how this works. We're driving on the highway now. Now let's say you wanted to jump back to pits. You can actually, on your keyboard, hit Control P, and that'll teleport you back to pits. You can also hotkey this in your settings. Hit Escape, and then Exited. Close that race end window. And now, you can see here, I have that server in my favorites. So it's ready to go next time. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to review our FAQ, and also the pinned messages in our help chat. And then feel free to ask us any questions.